Let's talk about Bpd and codependency. That's a fun one. Let's go. People with Bpd need a lot of love. I remember when I said to my ex-boyfriend, "Oh well, I'm too much," and he'd be kind of like agreeing, but also he'd say, "You know what? You're not sick. You just need a lot of love." And that's true. I do need a lot of love. I need a lot of attention. I need a lot of validation, and I need a lot of touch, but only in the right moment. If you touch me in the wrong moment, I'm gonna freak out. Every time I question myself, I need someone to help me with my insecurities, blah 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 blah. And that's why I'm not dating at the moment, because I need to be that person that gives me all that I need, so I stop getting into codependent relationships. It's totally normal to have a codependent relationship to your parents when you're a child. But when you grow up, it's important that when you start dating as a grown-up, that you are still an independent person, and that your life, your security, your finances do not depend on someone else. But somehow, people with Bpd tend to get into those very much intense relationships, and all of a sudden, their whole life depends on that one person, and that gives us very little control over our own decisions. And specifically people that date someone with narcissistic traits, because borderliners feel very attracted to people with NPD. That can be really tough, because the person with NPD can control you completely. We feed off that codependency. It makes us feel safe, like we are a little child, and it takes responsibility from us. We don't feel capable to take responsibility over our own life, so we try to find someone else to do that. But in doing that, we're giving away our freedom and our own decision. Luckily, I forced myself to independency when I moved to New Zealand. I lived in a van for a while, and I just worked wherever I could, and I just did my own thing. And it was so important for me to learn that I can do this everything by myself, that I don't need a partner that tells me where should I go, how should I make money, and all that. But once I fell in love again, I somehow quit my job, and I somehow sold my van, and I somehow moved in with my partner even before we were dating. And all of a sudden, everything that I built up in 6 months was gone, and my money was slowly but surely becoming less and less. And then there was visa problems, and relationship problems, mental health problems, and I felt smaller and smaller every day, because I became more codependent on my partner. And when you feel like you can't live without a person, no matter how toxic the relationship is, you somehow stay in it, because you don't see anything else. You don't see a plan B, because you lost all your friends, you stopped talking to your friends, you stopped talking to your family, and this person is all you got. At least that's what I felt like. There's always a way out. But it's not easy, because I felt addicted to that person. I loved them so much, and I thought they were my everything. They were the love of my life, and without them, there was no future. It took me a lot of time and a lot of restless nights to reflect and realize that I'm my own person, that I'm strong and capable to do this by myself, because I did it before. And this cycle of life has been repeating in my life, and situations like this have been repeating in my life over and over again. Not just with relationships with people I dated, but also with friendships, with living at my friend's house and being codependent, having to be surrounded by people that take drugs and people I don't feel comfortable with, that make me feel very insecure and manipulate me a lot, just because I make myself codependent. because I thought I couldn't do it on my own. So I would rather live in an uncomfortable situation than not living in codependency. Or even with my flatmate, who was really, really scary. I didn't leave the house. I couldn't leave. I didn't change the fact that I was living there because somehow I was comfortable. And that's so weird because I don't feel good about myself and I don't feel happy in the situation, but it is comfortable. And making a difference is hard because you fear that if you change the situation, if you leave the situation, it might get even worse. Better this than worse. Who knows what's out there? Who knows what could happen to me? And I remember once I was talking to this woman I met in a hostel, and she said, "First time I saw you, I looked at you and thought you were like a little deer. You seemed so fragile. You seemed so scared, and you had your eyes wide open." And yeah, that's what I feel like. I feel like there's always stranger danger coming in. I'm always looking for my little escape room, for my little place in the woods where I can hide. And in the best case scenarios, it's someone's arms where I can just cover my face and just feel safe. I crave a lot of safety. And even when I'm with my family, I tend to become codependent. I would rather get myself yelled at than living on my own, building my own life, working my own money. And that's something that's tough because most people are able to do that. Most people are able to get their own life together. Most people don't struggle like that. But it's almost like without other people, I feel empty inside and I need other people to complete me over and over again. But that's wrong. And that's why for me, the only solution to change that was getting out of my comfort zone, choosing fear over toxicity, and change over comfort. That was a really important decision for me, and that's why I have been single. And it's so lonely sometimes, and it's so hard to take responsibility for your own life, and it's so scary because you gotta pay the bills and you don't know how, because you struggle. You struggle going to work, you struggle waking up, you struggle having a shower, you struggle with most things, and then you're like, what's wrong with me? Why is everyone seemingly capable to do all these things? And then there's me, obviously incapable. But after some time, things get easier. We form habits and we get used to that, to taking accountability and responsibility for our own life. And I don't feel lonely anymore. I'm alone, but not lonely. Yes, of course, some days I wonder if there's ever gonna be a person that I'm gonna feel the same way about like I did with my last partner. But I know that I will attract these people somehow. Maybe not now, but probably I'm not ready yet anyway. And when I'm ready, when the time is right, I will attract the right people too. And hopefully I'll be able to stick to my own rules then, to keep up with my own life, to not lose control over myself, and to not choose to let others dictate and control where my life goes. Because never, ever again, I want to give up my dreams, my finances, my home, my morals, my beliefs for anyone in this world. Because without that, I'm not completely myself. And I need to be my authentic self if I want to have a healthy and successful life. Tell me about you. Tell me about yourself. Do you tend to get into codependent relationships too? How do you get out of them? How do you deal with that? You don't always need to end a relationship to get out of codependency. If both of you are ready to change, because codependency is caused by two people, not just one, you are able to create a beautiful, independent relationship of you two. It's just so important that both of you are willing to change something.
Another thing that I cannot do very well, and it might be the BPD thing or a PTSD or whatever, boundaries. So either I cross boundaries or I let my partner cross their boundaries. It depends whether I'm the abuser or if I'm being abused. Sometimes it's in a relationship where it kind of like changes. Sometimes one person is the more dominant part and the other person is more the submissive part. So either way, it's really important that now that we've found ourselves, that we know who we are and what we want, we make clear boundaries. For example, I don't like when people call me Katharina because it triggers me, right? So if I'm being vulnerable with you and I'm telling you I don't like that, and you keep calling me Katharina just because you like hurting me, because you know exactly it triggers me, that's where I need to make a boundary. That's where I need to say, bro, I told you I don't like that. Please stop doing that. And if you don't stop doing that, that's where I have to distance myself from you again. Making healthy boundaries is something we need to learn over time. You know, it's where you don't yell. It's where you don't smash the door. It's where you don't run away and don't jump into the car and say, never want to see you again. It's the part where you say, you know, the part where you said this and that kind of hurt my feelings, and I would appreciate if you would stop saying that. That's a really good boundary, and if they don't accept that, fuck them. Like, just, you know, you found yourself now, you know who you are, and I hope you know your worth.
And that's even more beautiful than ending a relationship and trying it on your own, because when you come out of toxic traits together and learn to heal both of your trauma, that's just a different kind of level of bonding. So yeah, ending the relationship doesn't need to be the solution. You can find independency on your own and in a relationship. Either way, you gotta know who you are, what you want, and where you want to go. Take care of yourself. Treat yourself with kindness. I know it's hard and I know you struggle. I struggle too. So you know that you're not alone. But you know what? You're trying. You're trying every day. And especially because all of these things are hard for you, it's worth being proud of seeing you trying. Take care. Make sure to subscribe for more. Leave a comment and share your experiences. I love you so much. See you next time.